Hello.
Hello. We're here.
Welcome to the Shahannigans show, day 2.
It's our
Yes,
fans.
our
Hi,
fans. We have fans.
Shahannigans rule.
Woo!
Hey.
Anyways,
Safety first.
Yes.
We're here, day 2, Rolex, Kentucky 3-day event. For doing this show, they gave us some cars, which was nice.
thank you, Land Rover,
Thank you, Land Rover.
for our full-sized cars.
If you see us driving around tomorrow, please wave.
Right, this will be us
We're
on
just
these
going to
little
be
miniature
sitting
cars.
here. So Hannah,
Yeah,
today, you actually were here today.
I was
you watched
here.
some dressage.
I did. I watched a lot of dressage. I was really impressed, actually. Thought
Yeah.
it was a really good day. I think we called it perfectly
Yeah,
with Tim Price,
yeah.
nailing it on
Nailing it.
Wesco.
I still, just for the record, I'm sorry I might be stepping out of line here. I still
That
think he
was
should
you.
be the winner.
Yep, you called that.
I called that. I thought he had an awesome test. I think he went in and owned it, nailed it, didn't
Yeah.
put a foot wrong.
Right.
So I'm still pulling for him for the win.
Me too. I think it's. I think he's going to be great.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, and then you've always got Sam there,
That just goes in and does the job.
Michael Young.
Yeah,
He knows
Michael
what
Young.
He's,
He's
doing.
pretty good.
Yeah, you might
he's
have heard
pretty
of him.
good. What are some other highlights we had from the day, Hannah?
Well, we had Lauren Kiefer. She had a pretty good test. Don't even look at my truck. Then, Covert Rights.
Colleen Rutledge.
Colleen.
Nailed it. Yeah,
Dang
went in.
it,
I
that
think
was-
that horse is a Percheron thoroughbred cross.
Yeah, it's got Percheron. It's got Thoroughbred. It's got the longest legs I've ever seen, the shortest back.
Yeah,
and
it was
just,
amazing.
It
I think,
trots, man.
Colleen has come in obviously with the great Shiraz several times, done a
Yep.
lot of big 4-stars, and I think she probably felt pretty darn good cantering down that center line. She did a great job with that horse. So that was really exciting. She got huge
Support.
applause.
The support was
Applause.
applause. Yeah, she was great.
Oh, somebody's calling me.
She's got a phone call?
I've got a
So
phone
we're
call,
gonna-
sorry. Kyle Carter, is that you?
Oh.
Yes, Kyle Carter. Kyle Carter has something he'd like to say.
Jay Quillen, are you here?
Oh, come. We'd like to bring in some Canadian thoughts.
Yes. Canadians, welcome.
Somebody get in my car.
I'm gonna have
I'm
to.
going to point out that they've ensured you don't drive these cars.
Yes.
They
At each other.
Come
they
sit
saw
with me.
Sinead drive in today,
this
so
is
we're not allowed to
awesome.
drive these.
It says everything about
Get
the
in there,
respect your
Kyle.
show-
Get
your
in
show
there.
deserves with something like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome.
I am a car.
To our show.
All right, Kyle.
Great show.
What was what? This is our round table. What were your thoughts on today, Kyle? Anything stand out for you?
Yeah, well, I mean, I thought it was very interesting.
Could you
to
keep
watch.
all of your arms and legs in the vehicle?
At all times.
Hey, Kyle,
I'm gonna start
safety
washing
first.
in my bikini. I feel like a rock star.
Please do
Back
that.
to business.
That'll
Back
be
to
tomorrow.
business.
Bad, Kyle. Stop it.
Tomorrow, bikini day.
I thought that it was, I thought, as usual, it's very interesting to watch the marks while you're watching the test. So in the
Yeah.
tent where they give you the marks, because you see some forgiving of names and you see some inaccuracies, I'd say, from the marking end of it. You know?
I thought
Totally
the
agree.
Canadians were going to come in and be all PC.
I
Listen to
love
this guy.
this.
Yeah, I live in America, so you know, I'm all
He can
pissed
do
off
whatever
all
he
the time.
wants. He can say whatever he wants. And he is.
But
Anyone-
would you agree
anyone
with
in
that? Like,
particular?
I thought Lauren had an incredible entrance in her test and did a great job. And I think after the first little bit, she was 5 points shy of Michael.
Yeah.
And I thought it came in, it was good. It was a little bit crooked. It did that a couple times. And
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but that's,
Yeah.
that's the test. But you can ride a name a little bit. You
Yeah.
did a beautiful test. His changes, I thought, were the best I've
Yeah.
possibly ever seen at an event.
Yeah.
Consistent, 4 of them. And I'm not taking anything away from his test, but there is that little bit of a trade-off where when she started, I was like, oh my God, this is going to be
Impressive, yeah.
And yeah, she gave up some marks at the end, but she'd already been
So
marks had already
above.
been taken away
Yeah.
from her. I thought at that point, but
Yeah, I agree.
you know,
I agree.
Yeah. What are you going to do?
what are you gonna do?
Those judges.
See,
So
say
So
whatever-
judgy.
judgy.
So
Easy to say
judgy.
when you don't have to ride in front of them, isn't it?
Yeah,
You
exactly.
gotta judge.
What do you
Right.
think, Jackie?
I think it's true. I think, but I think also the marks they gave, we were saying 9 horses over 70%, which
Right.
is a first. So they're, the level is up, and there's lots of good riding going on. And I think it is. I think that is a hard part of the job too, to judge different types of horses. And it's harder, I think, in your sport than in your dressage, because we have more similar horses.
Right.
And you have
So much
amazing
diversity.
thoroughbreds and like a Percheron thoroughbred
Yeah,
cross.
it's wild.
And then you've got something with a bit of a warm blood in it that potentially is going to trot maybe a little bit differently than those thoroughbreds, but then is that the right horse for this entire sport?
Yeah.
Is that horse going to keep up in this entire sport? So being able to see through that and to good training, great balance, great obedience. It's an obedience test at the end of the day. So when you talk about Lauren coming in, nailing a halt, trotting off, being on the center line, turning, extension, exactly the letter accurate, then I think that's what should be rewarded as well. So
Right.
regardless of the name and
Not just
regardless of the breed,
movement,
really,
right.
you know, they have to get to the point. If they want to, it's with us too. If you want to keep a sport, you got to mark the training.
Right.
Because if you're not marking the training, then you're eliminating the sport to just a few superstars that are freaks, you know?
They're
Right.
freaks.
They're freaks.
You heard it here.
Those are
Super
freaks.
freaks.
Lauren Kiefer, Michael Young, Tim Price.
Super
freaks.
freaky.
Freaks. End
Amazing.
quote.
Freaks. Done.
So looking forward to tomorrow. Hannah, have you been out there on that cross country course?
Yes, I have. I think you were there.
we were.
Don't you remember?
That was this morning. Sinead
The
forgot.
bar.
Right. We've had a long day of
That's why I'm not behind
not
the wheel.
doing much.
Right.
Thank God.
Anyways, so yes, I have walked a large portion of the course. I think it's compared to last year. I rode last year, and so did Sinead. I think it's a
Yeah, I
little
think you
bit
were there.
harder.
Yeah.
I was there last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do think it's harder too.
I think it's harder.
It's big. I think it's often Kentucky is, I think, big and not so technical, or technical and not so big, and I think it's both this year. I think it's pretty impressive. I think there's going to have to be a lot of plan A, B's, and C's
Right.
out there. The
Especially if it
ground's going to be,
rains.
the
Yeah, what
ground's
about
going to be a
the weather?
factor.
Oof.
What's the weather going to do?
It's not going to rain.
I don't think I brought like 5 rain jackets, so I think it shouldn't rain. With
gonna
that.
rain.
It's gonna rain. It's gonna rain.
Yeah, how's that going to affect,
Don't you
right?
think that running the other way as well, the terrain's going to be far more influential? I think
Yeah.
he's found as many hills.
Do you think
as
it's
I've ever
harder
seen
this
here.
way?
Yeah, I do. I think that at the end you're doing more hills.
Yeah.
You climb that first from the start box to the, I don't know what number it is. You get up to the top of the hill by the stables, and you've climbed
Yeah.
the full
You've already
time.
run it.
Yeah.
And usually at Rolex, you kind of do a lot of up and downs, and this time I think he's made the most of that terrain.
And you can kind of run home. You could normally run home from up here at the top of
Once
the
you
hill.
get
And
the
once
top,
you get
you're
to the
down,
9
you're
minute,
going
then you're
down.
running all the way down.
Yeah.
And here, that's not the
And they're
case at
usually
all.
legless by there anyways.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you've got a ton more
I
to
don't know
go
what you were
uphill.
riding. Mine were never legless. But oh, that's right. I didn't get that.
Whatever, Kyle. Don't be ridiculous.
Wah, wah.
Wah, wah,
Yeah,
wah.
I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a tough day tomorrow. It's certainly not gonna be a dressage competition. Not that it ever is, but it's interesting. You know, the way that the order is gonna go. Obviously, in the afternoon, the weather's gonna be a factor. The ground's gonna be heavier, but we also have, you know, the most experienced really
Right.
combinations going at the end of the
Heavy
day.
hitters
So
at
they've
the end
ridden
of
in
the
these
day.
conditions before. Most of these people were at the World Equestrian Games, which was terrible. Whoops.
Pudding. No, not pudding. Game.
Terrible.
Nobody's been able to get to the grounds because of traffic.
because of the rain. Because of the rain.
Don't slide down the hills.
French.
Oh, whoa.
Oh.
Anyways, moving on.
Pick your winner.
Good ass.
My
your
winner, Tim Price. It's my winner.
Tim Price.
Wow.
I'm going with my man Tim.
Wow, 3 Tims, and I'm not qualified.
What do you?
After-
What's your winner?
Who are you picking?
I'm not qualified. All my qualifications ended today at 4:30.
Come on.
But if I was really a betting person, I would go with Tim because 3 of you did. So.
Yeah.
You know what? The thing is, Tim, I think is going to blaze this tomorrow. But as far as consistency, I think obviously Michael's been the winner all the way across the board. But I mean, Williams going to
exactly.
just leave those rails. I just
Right.
can't see him making a mistake
No.
all weekend. So
No.
Yeah.
Tim's
You've
got it
got-
to win,
yeah.
but he's also got it to lose.
Yeah.
And
Totally.
I think Michael's at a big disadvantage at the end of the day with his
Yeah.
horse. But it's going to be interesting to see how that performs with
Yeah,
such
absolutely.
a good rider.
Yeah, I would say one more thing about the course. Usually when I walk the Derrick courses, I walk them and I'm like, okay, this is, I feel good about this. And then everyone feels pretty good about it. And then the day starts and then everyone starts falling off and having runouts. And you're like,
No,
what? This is not what I thought was going to
Yeah.
happen. And I walked it today and I was like, this is actually,
Real.
yeah. You
Yeah.
walked it and I was impressed,
Yeah.
So that was different for me.
Yeah.
And I'm not even riding, which usually you walk it and you're like, I can do this any
Whatever.
day.
If I was here,
If I was here, yeah, that's not the
happening.
case.
So
yeah.
on to tomorrow. I hope for safe rounds, an exciting day, and
No rain.
no rain.
No rain. Everyone home safe.
Yeah, we're
totally.
gonna be right here.
We'll be here on these with umbrellas if it rains. All right, till tomorrow.
Till tomorrow.
Shahannigans.